says we cannot do anything for you anymore. So people go look for alternatives, and there's a big chance that you end up with Nuno Nina because he's an authority all around the world. He's been doing that for over 20 years. And in those 20 years, he has developed over 144,000 frequencies that he has identified that we can use for human treatment or animal treatment. So when Marco Schmieke and Nuno Nina came together, and there was some kind of a chemistry, the frequencies were right, if you will. So they decided to join forces, Marcus with the technology and Nuno with the frequencies. And that led to what we now call the 𝗙𝗨𝗘𝗏. And this is what 𝗙𝗨𝗘 is. I have it on my shirt here. Well, it's not so good, wrong color shirt today. But this is how 𝗙𝗨𝗘 looks like. It's 5 by 5 centimeters. And there is a clip on the back so that you can put it on your shirt or whatever you wear. So it's wearable. And that is a genius decision, of course, because programs will last anywhere between 20 minutes and an hour. And the first thing people will say is, well, I don't have time for that because we're busy. Well, that's no excuse here because it doesn't take any time out of your day. It's wearable. You can take it to work. You can take it shopping. You can take it sporting. You can do anything that you want. The only thing that you should not do with the 𝗙𝗨𝗘 is go swim or take a shower, for the simple reason that it's not waterproof. So that's not a good idea. But other than that, you can do anything with 𝗙𝗨𝗘 that you want. So that's one major decision. The second decision, what they took is they made it operated by your mobile phone. So 𝗙𝗨𝗘 is operated by your mobile phone. And let's think about that for a minute. You know, if you look at our lives right now, what portion of our lives happens on the mobile phone? Well, if it's up to me, but maybe I'm not the standard, it's a lot. But I think with a lot of people, you know, a big portion of our lives is happening on the mobile phone. So think about it. If we now can, you know, help our health a little bit, support our health with our mobile phone as well, wouldn't that be a genius idea? I think so. So that's another genius decision. And the total development of the 𝗙𝗨𝗘 has taken over 4 years of time. It took over $25 million in development cost. So they took the time, they took also the money, but in the end, the result is something that we are proud to show, because we are helping so many people right now with frequencies that sometimes it even scares me how good that device works with people. And it works even better with animals, because animals are more sensitive to frequencies than we as humans. So they have much better results than we have as humans. So we're getting to that as well. So with that experience, 15 years Time Waver, 20 years Nuno Nina development project, we are now on the market in 45 countries. And this is just the beginning, because we are only 17 months on the market. So we are still in a startup phase. We are still pioneers. We are a category creating opportunity, because something like this with frequencies has never been done in this industry before. So that's also an opportunity in itself. And, you know, we are in the very, very early stages of what we will achieve. Last weekend, we reached the benchmark of 100,000 𝗙𝗨𝗘s sold. So that's a huge benchmark after 17 months. But the goal is to come to 100 million 𝗙𝗨𝗘s sold. So therefore, we have a little bit further to go. But, you know, it's not bad to start with 100,000 𝗙𝗨𝗘s in 17 months. So all these numbers and facts, they are a testimonial to the fact that there is a demand for a device like this. We have a lot of doctors and practitioners and, you know, people from the health industry working with the 𝗙𝗨𝗘. And I got literally, you know, therapists on the phone who are crying because they were looking for a device like this for over 20 years, could not find it, had something, but it did not work. And now they have found finally a device that actually works, that actually delivers. And this was something that they were looking for over 20 years. So can you imagine those people? They are, you know, they are out of this world for joy. what they now can do with their patients. But you don't have to be a doctor, practitioner, or medical professional to work with Healy, because my background is I'm an architect, so I'm a non-medical person. The only thing I did for medical was design something in a hospital, but that was something different. So Healy has an opportunity for everybody, for the medical people, for the non-medical people. And, we just need to know where are your ideas, what's your background, and then we can figure out a strategy that can work for you. To give you an idea how Healy works with your mobile phone, I promised that we would do a live demonstration. So I will do that now. And this is always the tricky part, because I'm an architect, but I'm not technical. So I have to see if I get this working. But, if we are lucky, then it should work. So let's see, share screen. And if everything, yay! So now you see here the screen of my phone. And so that you see that I don't use screenshots or something, this is my phone. So it's all real life. And when I go to the app for Healy, because it's operated by an app, then you see at the top of my screen, you see 4 apps that we have for Healy. I'm not gonna explain today all apps, because we wanna keep it short and, crispy for you. But I will take the basic version that everybody gets when they get a Healy. And if you wanna go out there, then there is more to do, but I will show just the basics today. So I have to click on the second one from the right. And if you go there, this is what you will see. It will start up, and then it will go to a main screen. That takes a little while. See, okay. Is my Healy switched on? It was switched on. So let's see. Yes, I have a Healy. Connect to the Healy. So let's see, how many people do we have on today? Wow, 126 people already. There will come some more, I guess. So let's see, what is the problem? Connect. That's always the risk when you do something live. But hey, if we go there, then we go there. There it's coming. So we had some difficulties with okay. So let's see if we can figure out how that works. So, all right. So I'm back, and I'm trying to figure out in the meanwhile what is wrong with the app. Usually we have to start it once again. There it is. So let's see if we got it now. Yes. So always when you do it live. So we're gonna share screen again. So let's see, share screen. All right. So here we go. So when you open your app, this is what you will see. We have in total 120 different individual programs for frequency, which you can use in several areas. You can think about pain and psyche, or learning, fitness, job, sleep. So 120 different programs in 16 program groups. And in my screen, you now see all the groups. Oops, that was a little bit too quick. You see all the groups, and I want to show you a little bit on how that works and what you will see when you open the programs. So if I go to, for example, the group Pain and Psyche, then you will see this screen. And you see in this screen 8 individual programs that have to do with your pain and psyche. So they are chronic pain or joints local or migraine, whatever you want. And determining where you are in the world, the terminology can be a little bit different because of the laws and the rules and the regulations that are, connected to these topics. So maybe in the United States or in another country, well, because we have more people from other countries, the terminology can change a little bit, but you get the idea of what you will see. If I, for example, choose a program chronic pain, then you see that chronic pain will last 20 minutes. And you see a little pictogram in the screen ahead with, something with the ears. And that indicates that we should use one of our 3 application modes. And the application modes that is connected or suggested here are our ear clips. They look like this, but I have to be, a little bit bad now. These clips are not allowed to be used in the United States. 𝗙𝗧 has an FDA clearance, class 2, meaning that we have a medical certification for the 𝗙𝗧, but in that medical certification, the ear clips are excluded, so we cannot use them in the United States. Everywhere in the world we can use them, but not in the United States. But for them, we have a good alternative, and these are those pads. You can see them now. I'm holding them in front of my camera. And then you put those pads here behind your ear, and of course on the other side as well. And if you then start a program, the frequencies will go from one side of your head, through your head, to the other side of your head. And there we can take everything in the head area that we can help support, such as what you saw, migraine or insomnia or chronic pain or stress or burnout, learning, focus, that type of issues we can help support with the 𝗙𝗧. If I go to another program, for example, joints local, then you see a pictogram that says, we should use again those pads. And now you put them on 10 to 15 centimeters from each other where you have a certain complaint. So that can be a tennis elbow or a sore knee or back pain or neck pain or a wound or a broken bone, something in that area we can treat with our pads. So that's the second option, or in this case, the same option as the first, but in worldwide, it's the second option that we have, application mode. And you see that joints local will take about 30 minutes for you to run this program. If I go to the final option, I have to go to another group, for example, the Gold Cycle. The Gold Cycle is our basic program that everybody gets when he buys or she buys a 𝗙𝗧. And you see that the Gold Cycle has 7 individual programs, being pure, care, balance, being, energy, relax, and release. And again, the names of the programs kind of reveal what they are for. The program energy, what will the program energy be for? If we talk about relax or release, what will it be for? So you can figure that out by yourself. Of course, we have a list that we can show people what those programs are for. But if you think a little bit logical, then you can figure it out by yourself. So if I now, for example, choose a program energy, and then I see that this program will last 55 minutes. And now it shows me 2 hands with bracelets, and they look like this. I got them on myself. You can see them. And there is a cable with a connection to the bracelet, and you can click it back on if you want. And if you now start a program, the frequencies will run from one wrist through your arm, upper body, to the other wrist. So it will take everything in the upper body with you, such as your organs and all that's in there in your upper body. I'm not a medical person, so I will not go into medical details because we don't have to, but that is what it does. So to give you a little bit of an understanding what we do with frequencies is that when our body is full of cells, we have billions and billions of cells in our body. And every cell has a little membrane, and that membrane has a small voltage. So it's a little bit electrical. And a healthy cell has a cell membrane voltage of around minus 70 millivolt. Can be a little bit more, can be a little bit less. It's depending on what cell in the body you're looking at. And then when the cell grows older, the cell can face certain problems. For example, pain, inflammation, or maybe even a tumor. And what that means is that the cell membrane voltage goes down. So, for example, a tumor cell has a cell membrane voltage left of around minus 15 millivolt. So what we do with frequencies is that we can boost and up that cell membrane voltage again. Not indefinite, not unlimited, but to a certain extent. So from minus 15, we cannot get up to minus 70 again. That's not possible. So we cannot erase or take the tumor away. But what we can do is that we can up those minus 15 to minus 20, 25, maybe 30, depending on the person, of course. And therefore, we can help that person in lower the complaints that the person has from the tumor. Therefore, we will increase the quality of life from that person. So that has a big value too. Another example is that if you feel a cold coming up and you take the right frequencies tonight, then probably tomorrow you will be fine again and you can go to work or whatever you want to do, and you will be fine again. So it always depends on how low the frequency, the cell membrane voltage has sunken, that determines what we can do to up it again. Another thing that happens when we work with frequencies is that your amino transport in your body will go up by approximately 40%. That in itself will lead to a protein synthesis increase of 70%. And those two together will help you get more ATP production, which is a difficult word for energy, in your body up to 500%. So now hopefully you start understanding why Healy is so effective. Because if you have more energy in your body, that has a positive effect on almost every other process in your body. And I always appeal to the common sense of people. I know that's not always easy, but I'm still trying. So if you had more than 500% energy in your body, could you imagine that you would notice that? I think every normal person would say, yes, of course. Yes, of course you would notice that. So that's why we have such a high rate of customer satisfaction, about 96%. So 96% of our customers say that they have an immediate to an almost immediate response when they use the Healy. And that is, of course, the dream of every business person, to have a product that works almost instantly. And of course, if you have 20 years of chronic pain, your chronic pain will not be gone after 1 hour using the Healy. But can you notice that you have maybe a little bit less pain than you had before? That's for sure. And then we can see how far we can go in that particular case. So hopefully you now have a little bit of an understanding how that works with frequencies. If I go back to my screen and I press the start button, what happens is now that my phone is making connection with our server in Berlin, Germany, because I said Healy was a German company. So we have a server in Berlin, and now the program energy, because that is what I have chosen, is being downloaded onto my phone. This will take a few seconds. It takes a little bit longer than a normal download because we work with medical data. So we have a number of extra security protocols that we are enforced on and voluntarily have, because we want to make sure that all the data is secure. So we have the highest level of security in data protection that you can imagine. I joke sometimes we are we have a better security than Fort Knox, but don't know if that's really true, but we have a high level of security. So now the information is downloaded on my phone and is being transmitted via Bluetooth to my Healy. You can see the little light of the Bluetooth flickering. And now you saw that a white circle appears on my screen. That means that the information is on my Healy and the program is ready to start. And what happens is that in the first 5 to 9 minutes of each program, so each of the 120 programs that we have, your body or the user of the Healy is being checked on the frequencies in regard to the chosen program. In my example, energy. So now the Healy is checking my body, which frequencies in relation to energy can be better or are lacking, and he will determine that in the first 5 to 9 minutes. Once he knows that, he goes automatically back to our server in Berlin, taps into our database with 144,000 frequencies, what I already spoke about, gets exactly those frequencies that he found that I need at this time, and then in the remaining time of the program, usually between 40 minutes and an hour, he will give every 10 seconds a frequency into my body. And that's what you see also in the screen, because next to the now 45 minutes, you see that a hertz number. So now it's at 965, now it's at 969, and every 10 seconds, this will change. So he will do that as long as my cells are still accepting the information. Because if you give cells too much information, they will not have it. They will say, oh, stop, I will not resonate with that frequency anymore. And therefore the Healy will detect that and stop itself. So it will shut off. So therefore, the use of the Healy is not only very simple, as you can see, it's also very safe. Because we have all ages that can work with the Healy. You know, babies can work with the Healy, children, teenagers, adults, and elderly people. Anybody can work with the Healy, every age group. So this is basically how simple it works with the Healy. In the bottom of the screen, you see 15% minus and plus. What does that mean? Well, basically that has nothing to do with the frequency itself. It's just how you feel the frequency on your skin. For example, I have now those arm bracelets on, and with 15%, I don't really feel anything of whatever. But if I push on the plus button and I bump it up to maximum 100%, now I start feeling a very strong tingling in my fingers, in my hand. And that feeling needs to be and stay comfortable. So if your fingers start moving like this by themselves, that's not good. Then you probably bumped it up a little bit too much, and therefore we have the minus button, so you can put it down to a level that feels comfortable for you. And every person is different, because some people have a sensitive skin, other people have more like an elephant skin, like I always used to tell, and that's probably what I have. So this is why we made it adjustable, so everybody can put it on a level what's comfortable for him or for her. One thing is important to say, that percentage has no influence on the working of the frequency. So even if you feel nothing, it doesn't mean that nothing happens. It doesn't mean that if you put it on 100%, it works better than it would do on 40%. So this is something that we need to forget, because you know, some people think that if I put it up high enough, I get more out of it. That's not true. So now you saw basically in a very simple way how it works with the Healy. If I go back to the screen, let's see, because he's not willing to work with me tonight. With me it's evening. So with those groups that we have, we also have another thing that's called digital nutrition. And digital nutrition is something very special, because the company went above and beyond. So they did not only create those 120 different programs already for us to use, but they also identified all vitamins, minerals, and vitamins, proteins, and minerals, 72 in total, for us. So that means we know the frequency of vitamin A, we know the frequency of taurine, we know the frequency of Q10, we know it from phosphor, we know it from vitamin B, vitamin D, whatever vitamin, mineral, or protein we know, we have the frequency of that. So we offer people this in a subscription model. So the programs, 120 programs that I talked about, are a fixed buy. I will tell you more at the end of the presentation today. The digital nutrition is in a subscription form. And even with that, the company went already to the next step, because with those vitamins and minerals and proteins, they created already mixtures. So we have mixtures for hair care, skin care, for your brain, for your nails, for people who are vegan, for example, they need some extra vitamins. So for 48 different topics, we already create mixtures with digital nutrition. And we believe this is the next step in healthcare. You know, for some people it has a high Star Trek level. What? Can you do that? Yes, that's the new development. And this is a solution for a lot of people, because, you know, many people, and especially also in the United States, I know, are taking nutritional supplements to support their body, which is basically, I think, a good idea. The thing is with nutritional supplements that you often have to take it as a pill or a powder or a juice or a shake, or however they want to provide it to you. And a lot of people have problems with swallowing pills. They don't, if they don't have to, they don't want to do that. So now we have an alternative. Another thing why it is very interesting is that if you use nutritional supplements in the form of a pill, for example, you take that orally through your mouth, then it goes into your body through your stomach, which is your enemy, because in the stomach there is a high acid level. So a lot of the working ingredients are lost in your stomach. Then it will be transferred into your blood, and then it goes to somewhere in your body where you want it. That's how a nutritional supplement works. Experts say that depending on the quality of the product that you take, around 10% really arrives in your body where you want it. So that depends on the quality. If you have a low quality, maybe a little bit less. If you have a high quality product, maybe a little bit more, but around 10%. So when I learned that, I thought, wait a minute, that's not really efficient. You know, I take 100% and only 10% arrives. So if you now understand, hopefully by the explanation that I gave to you about 𝗙𝗧, that we first measure in your body what your body needs in real time, and then we deliver exactly what the body needs at the place where it's needed, either in your head, in your upper body, or somewhere local, but we deliver it exactly there. So we bypass the stomach, so to say. And therefore, again, common sense will prevail and tell you that this should be more efficient than nutritional supplements. And that's true. We have a 90 to 95% effectiveness instead of 10%, around about, with nutritional supplements. So now again, you start learning how it is that we can grow so explosive, because, you know, if you give people an opportunity, would you rather use a nutritional supplement with about 10% effectiveness, and you have to buy that every whatever week, 2 weeks, or a month again? Or would you rather have a product that you purchase one time and that has a 90 to 95% effectiveness? So if you give people that choice, what will common sense prevail that people say? Of course, the 90-95% effectiveness, right? So this is how simple 𝗙𝗧 works. And then all the other things that I talked about will come to that. Another product that we have is called a 𝗙𝗧 watch. And the 𝗙𝗧 watch looks like this. And this is a wellness tracker, like you might know from a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or a Samsung watch or something like that. But what is the difference? Well, most of those, which I named, and others, they can measure body functions, right? Such as your breathing, your heart rate, your blood rate, etc. That's what they monitor. That's good. That is what our 𝗙𝗧 watch does as well. It measures 14 body functions. But then, you know, because we have that medical certification in the FDA cleared class 2, we are allowed to analyze the data that we get from the measurement. And this is something that most of those other devices that I named cannot do or are not allowed to do. Not all of them, but most of them cannot do that. And for those who can do it, we lose them in the next step, because if we analyze the data from the measurement, do they have an integrated, built-in solution? The answer is no, because if there comes something out of the analyze that something is not good, most of the time you have to go to the pharmacy or the doctor, or in worst case, maybe the hospital, right? So in our case, we have an app, and with that app, we can let the Heley watch communicate with the Heley. So if the data come out of here, we analyze them in the app, and the Heley will give you a recommendation what programs you can use to solve whatever the watch has detected. So my question is, where have you seen that before? The answer is nowhere, because it didn't exist. We are the first company to market, and we will be that for a number of time, to have such a technique developed. Because it looks very simple, but in the background, of course, there's a world of technology that makes it happen for us, that we can see this in a very simple way. Because you saw all the screens on my phone, it's very, very simple. So the experts say, not Heley, not me or anybody from Heley say, that we have, with this total system, with working in the cloud, medical data, with the apps that we have, with the hardware devices that we have about 8 to 10 years are we ahead of any other company in the world that does anything with nutrition, nutritional supplements, frequencies, wellness tracking, whatsoever. So this is amazing, because in our current time, 8 to 10 years ahead of anybody else is like light years. Because let's think about it. What are we using almost every day and almost everybody that we did not have 8 years ago? Have you ever heard of WhatsApp or WeChat or Facebook Messenger, something like that? Are you using that almost every day? I think most of you will. But 8 years ago, it was not there. And we think the same thing will happen with Heley, but probably a lot quicker. Because if you go out on the street where you live right now and you ask 10 people if they know about Heley, chances are big that 10 out of 10 don't know about Heley. And that is your opportunity. Because if I say to you McDonald's, do I have to explain what the product of McDonald's is about? I don't think so, right? They have about 100% awareness. We currently have about 0% or 0.001% awareness. So this is the opportunity that you have to create awareness, and the people who do that better than others will earn more. And then that's the bridge to my second part of the business model of Heley. Because next to these amazing products that I showed you, the Heley in itself, the digital nutrition and the watch, we offer people also a business opportunity to either supplement their income, replace their income, or if they open for that and they have that ambition level, do more, become financially free. And you know, if you're up for that, we have an amazing opportunity to do so, because you can work from home, you can work in the hours that fit you. If you do it 2 hours a day, that's fine. If you do it 20 hours a day, that's fine too. That's up to you. And we should make a plan together with you. What are your goals and how can we achieve them? But we are very flexible, because you can do it whenever it suits you. So you can also build it next to a job that you have or another business that you have. That's how I started. I had 2 businesses working 90 hours a week. And this was my third business, doing part-time with around 10 hours a week. After 1 year, I was at the level that I was earning with 10 hours a week as much as I was earning with 90 hours with 2 businesses full-time. So that's the point where we want to get you, because if you get at that level, you have options, you have choices. And this is why we want to present the business opportunity of Healy to you, to create choices, to create options for you. Because if we are honest, and nobody has to say yes here on the screen, but if we are honest, most people have no choice. They have to work, they have to do something, because if they don't, the money stops coming in and financial problems will rise. Am I right? And nobody in our current day can say anymore, well, this will not happen to me. Because I will call out one word. That's Corona. How many people in the United States are affected by the things that Corona caused? How many people lost their job? How many people lost their business? But more important, how many people will lose their job in the next month? How many people will lose their business in the next month? Because this will be a bigger disaster than it already is right now. So network marketing provides a solution for everybody who is open to it to create a new income, and an income that is not depending on you anymore, because that's the difficult part. If you have an income that is depending on you, you are always in the danger zone, because you are trading time for money. And if other people don't want your time anymore, you don't get any money anymore. And that's a problem, because probably you have fixed costs. You have a house, you have maybe children, you have to buy groceries, you have to have clothes, whatever. It all costs money. So with network marketing and Healy, you can work your way out of that situation to independence, where you don't care anymore. And maybe that's harsh for the people who do depend, but then again, that's the opportunity to let those people know, and if they choose to work with you, you can help them. Just like we are trying to help you, if you're open for that. If you're not open for that, hey, sorry, what can we do? But we are helping people transferring from a, how should I say that? From an active income to a so-called residual income. And residual income means that you have an income that's not depending on you anymore. And therefore, it would be wise to have multiple streams of income. So not just one via your job or your business, but multiple streams. Because if one is taken away or two are taken away, you still have others. So still you can live. You can pay your rent, you can pay your groceries, so you can live. Maybe not as fancy as you did, but at least you can. And you're not depending on the government, the church, your family, your friends, or whatever. So I think that's a pretty good reason to seriously look at Healy in combination with the product that we offered you, right? So in Healy, we create multiple streams of income. And the first stream that we offer you is a stream of income based on your own personal effort. So if you help other people buy a Healy, then you get a commission paid on whatever that other person buys. And the commission is between 30 and 40% on whatever they buy. And that 30 to 40% is based on the point value of the purchase. Because we have a currency value and we have a point value. And we do that on purpose because we are an international company. You heard we are operating in 45 countries. I personally operate in 24 of those 45. So if you have to know all those currencies around the world, it will drive you nuts. I tell you. But because we have that point value, and that point value is the same all over the world. So it doesn't care in the United States, in India, in Japan, in the Netherlands, in Spain, it doesn't matter. The point value is always the same. And that makes it more easy for us to calculate what volume have I done, what am I going to earn, etc. So I'm not going into details today because we said it would be short and crispy, but 30 to 40% on whatever another person buys at Healy through you. That's what you can earn on your personal efforts. Then we have an option where you can earn money on the team effort. So if you build a team with people who are willing to work in the same way as we do, just everybody has different goals, because I have my personal goals, but I'm pretty sure that they are different from your goals. but still we work with the same concept. And that's the beautiful thing of network marketing, because now people that in normal life probably would not meet each other because they have no connection, you know. I always say, here you see that the millionaire is working together with the people who's on food stamps. It's a little bit harsh. Or you see the doctor working with the construction worker. Because they might have different goals why they do this concept Hlae, but we work with the same strategy. And therefore, both can learn from each other. So this is the beauty, because in traditional life, you don't have that. Those people most likely will not talk, meet, let alone work together. If so, then one would work for the other, but there is no equality in that. So you can build a team with people, and you help that team perform the best way they can. We will help you to get you started because we have an interest in that. You are able to earn up to 15% on the group volume in points that your teams are doing. So this is pretty good. And if you build a larger team, then at one point that volume or that income will exceed the income that you will create with your own personal effort, what I just explained. And then you are on your way to financial freedom. Then we have another stream that's called a matching bonus with us, and you can get paid over the paycheck of the people in your team. So not only the point value that they create in sales, but also on their paycheck. So if you introduce me and you help me to earn €1,000, or dollars in your case, then that $1,000 represents a certain volume. So you're able to earn up to 50% on that volume. But you're also able to earn 10% on that $1,000 that you helped me earn, because that's the matching bonus. That would be $100, right? And maybe $100 is not so gigantic. But if you build a team with tens and maybe hundreds and maybe over time thousands of people, and from all those people you get here maybe $2, there you get $8, $12, $14, $6, $20, but times tens, times hundreds, times thousands of people, can you imagine that this would be an amazing form of income? And these two forms, the 15% over the group volume and the 5 to 10% on the paycheck of your partners, are the two residual forms that you can earn in Hlae. And this is very important, and I want to stretch to you how important that is. Let's say that you build a team of 500 people over time. And there are people here on this call, they have done that in the first month. I will not say that everybody will do that because it's not true, but I just show you that it's doable. So let's say you build a team of 500 people over time. And now something bad happens to you. We cannot exclude that. You die. Can that happen? Unfortunately, yes. People have a tendency to die sometime. So what will happen to those 500 people when you die? Well, if you build it right, nothing. They will continue their Hlae business. So therefore the volume they produce will be there, and it will even grow because new people will come in. And the payout on that volume will still be there. Just not to you, because you're not among us anymore. But if you did it clever, you told the company, if something happens to me, I want the money to be paid out to my wife, my husband, my children, my grandchildren, my dog, my goldfish. You know, the company doesn't care. As long as your goldfish has a bank account, they will transfer the money to your goldfish. It's pretty simple. So that's how you can create a legacy income. So you are creating an income not only for you while you live, but for if you're not there anymore, for generations to come. Have you ever heard of companies called Amway or Avon or Mary Kay or Nu Skin? All those giants in the network marketing industry, companies that are 30, 40 years on the market and some even longer. You know, there are now 4th and 5th generation people that get a hefty paycheck every month for something that grandfather or mother did 40 years ago. Wouldn't that be a nice idea? If you're not selfish, because some people say, I don't do it for the money, then do it for your grandchildren so they have money. Would that be a good idea? And luckily, you don't have to necessarily die, so that's the good news. You can also have it when you are alive. So when you come to a certain level of income where you say, hey, now I can live a lifestyle where I am satisfied with, then you can do a step back. Those 500 people will still produce the volume, the payout will still come, and since you're still there, it can also come to you. And now we can call it a retirement fund. Hey, wouldn't that be a good idea? That you can determine at what age you want to retire, and it's not determined by your government. Is that a good one? So you don't need a 401. You have your own retirement fund. And, I think those are two pretty good arguments to talk to people about, because how many people in the United States could either need or want a legacy income and an extra retirement fund? Well, let me tell you, about 98% of the people in the United States, that's about 320 million people in the United States. How do I know? Well, those 1% and 2%ers, they are so wealthy they don't care. But everybody else, they do care, and they do need or want an extra income potential. So is there potential in the United States alone with 320 million people that we can talk to? We already talked about I think, maybe 40 to 50,000 people in the United States. So there's room enough. And if you think the United States is too small, then we have 45 other countries where you can go to. We work in India. They get 1 billion people there. So there is enough room and place for everybody to build a humongous business if this is something that you like to do, and if you understand the value of what we offer you. Then we have other income potentials. We have a leadership bonus that you are able, when you reach a certain rank, a certain position in our compensation plan, then you share in 1% of the global sales of the company. So this company was 17 months on the market, right? This year, in our second year, we will do over $100 million in sales. Second year. What is 1% of 100 million? It's a million, right? So a very selective group of people will share 1 million. That will be an extra nice income, more than most people will earn in a year. So I don't say this to brag. I don't want to show off. I don't want to look arrogant. I just want to show you the potential that we offer you in Helix. And it's up to you, if you hear this for the first time, if you want to use that potential, yes or no. Because the person that invited you to this call has something really, really good in mind for you, and that's why they ask you to join this call. So if you want to join Helix, we have basically 4 starting options and 2 options that we provide separately. So let's talk about the first options to start. The first option is called, what we call them editions. It's called the Gold Edition. And with the Gold Edition, you get 2 out of the 16 groups that I showed you on my phone earlier. One of the 2 is the Gold Cycle. I showed you that with pure and care, balance, release, energy, and so forth. And you can choose one of the other 15 groups of your choice. So you get 2 groups available. Of course, you get the hardware, the Helix, and the application modes. You get also a very nice video brochure where I can show you very quickly because it's lying here anyway. It looks like this. And if you open it, then a video will start playing. I will put the sound on. And on that video brochure, there are 6 videos on who is Helix, how do you take it out of the package, how do you install it on your phone, what application modes do we have, what programs and how to use it. So if you follow these videos, you know exactly how the Healy works. So you should not have any questions about how it works. We also have a manual. So if you read the manual good, then you should not have any questions. And I would advise you to read the manual and watch the videos, because Healy was a medical device to be used by non-medical persons, but still it's not an off-the-shelf product. So it's highly recommendable that you first read the manual, first watch the videos before you start using the Healy. That will solve a lot of questions that we get now at support that we actually should not get. So that's the gold edition. The price for the gold edition, I will do it in rounded numbers because I don't have the exact numbers here in my head, is around $500, inclusive the tax. The second option that we have is a Healy Holistic Health. You get 8 more groups on top of what you have with gold. So then you have in total 10 groups available. The price for that option is around $1,000, inclusive the tax. The third option is Healy Holistic Health Plus. There you get another 6 groups on top of the 10 that you already had. So now you have a total of all 16 groups with all 120 different programs available for you on your phone. The price for that is around $1,500, inclusive the tax. So there you have already some idea of the price range. Then the last option that we have, we call that a resonance. And with the resonance, you get a second app. And with that app, you can do a so-called aura reading. So some people have a gift that when they see other people, they see a color, a circle around the person's head. And based on those colors, they can say something about your personality. Well, Healy made that digital. You can now do that by uploading a photo or making a selfie. You see the same circles around the face, and Healy will tell you something about that person. So that's one thing. And the other thing you can do is called a resonance analyze. So in a matter of minutes, you can do a total body scan. Well, because with the other programs, the individual programs, you will be checked on the individual program. So I did energy, so my body was checked on energy, but not on migraine. With the resonance, you get a total body check in around 5 minutes, plus a recommendation if something should not be okay in your body, what programs you should use to solve whatever has been detected. So this is an ultimate tool for all the medical professionals here on this call, the practitioners, the doctors, the therapists, etc. Because now you have a tool where you can help much more people in less time. And you don't have to treat them at your praxis because they can treat themselves at home. So that frees up your time, or you can treat more patients. It depends on what you want to do. If you're not a medical person, such as me, I have the resonance too. Because if I talk to people, I do that resonance analyze, people will be amazed how I know what's happening in their body. And I always say, I don't know that exactly, but this little fella, he knows that. And when I let them use 1 or 2 programs in the talk that I have with them, it's so convincing that they will start asking me, where can I get that device? Where can I buy that device? Well, we are an online company, so we can do an order immediately on my phone if you wish, or I give you a link and you can order tonight or tomorrow whenever it suits you, and then you order. See how easy again this business is. And that's why it's so powerful. It works, it's easy, it's safe, and people are loving it. So those are the price for the resonance. I have to tell that is around $2,500, inclusive the tax. So that's the price point. Then I said we have 2 other options from the company, because we as business people always want to max out the compensation plan. We always want to give people a better deal. So we have 2 options for you. One is called an advanced option, where we say, does it make sense that you don't have only one Healy, but you have multiple Healys to build your business. And I think that makes sense, because if I want to start a bicycle shop tomorrow, what would I need in my bicycle shop? Bicycles? If I were to start a clothing store, what do I need in my clothing store? Clothes? So if you want to start a business with micro-frequency devices, would it make sense to have more than one micro-frequency device, not to sell in our case, but to let more people experience the Healy? Because we have a 96% customer satisfaction. We have a 94 referral rate on Healy. So if you can get more people to test the Healy, your business will grow quicker. Does that sense? I think so. So we have made a plan that you buy either one gold edition for yourself and 3 gold editions separate to let people order procedure for that. So if you want to take that option, talk to the person that can help you do it right in the system. But if you want to do that, the price of that is around $1,500 inclusive the tax. And we have an option that you can start with a resonance and buy 3 extra golds. The price for that is around $3,500. And there you get an extra opportunity to create a return on investment of more than 200%. That's pretty neat. So you can earn your money back in the first month and create a return on investment of more than 200%. So for business people on this call, this is a no-brainer, an absolute no-brainer. So of course you want to know more details about it. I can understand that. So talk to the person that invited you, details on what I just talked about, and then make your decision, because it makes sense. So those are basically the 4 options of the company, the 2 options that we provide. Then finally, I want to say something about price and value, because some people will say, whoa, that's a lot of money, 500 euros for such a device. I know how you think, but be honest. If I look at it product-wise, if I met somebody that has migraine for years, can I find some people in the United States that have migraine for years? Millions and millions of people. And you can show that person with the Healy how he or she can get rid of the migraine within an hour. Would that be worth $500 yes or no? Yes, all day long. The only thing that can be is that that person says, yes, you're right, Christian, but I don't have the money. Okay, that's an honest answer. Then don't say that the product is expensive. Just say, I don't have the money for it. But there is a solution for that, because there is always a way to come up with $500. It's just a matter of being creative and resourceful. But I'm truly convinced, nobody can talk me out of that everybody in the world can come up with $500 if he really wants to. Whether it's just for the product side or the product and the business side, I don't care, but everybody can do that. So if I look from a business point of view and I take that highest package that I called, that pro business option for $3,500, again, it's not the price, it's the value that you get. What do you get? An opportunity to create business in the United States, all over, every state in the United States, but on top of that, in 48 other countries, already translated in 20 plus languages. Every logistics is done for you. All the legal issues are done for you. All the customer service is done for you. You get an opportunity to create a return on investment of over 200%. You get the opportunity to create a legacy income, to create a retirement fund. Would that be worth $3,500? All day long. You don't have to think about that. But again, you know, people can say, yeah, you're right, but I still don't have the money. Well, that's an issue. But again, there is a way to come up with $3,500. If you are resourceful and creative, if it's worth to you. If it's not worth to you, then don't do it. But if you say, hey, this could change my life, let's talk. So I want to stress out that, you know, having no time and having no money is not a reason, it's an excuse.
Yep.
Because everybody can do it, but you have to be willing. And if somebody's not willing, well, there's nothing we can do. That's pretty simple. So I hope that you got just as excited about this opportunity as we are. You know, that little history about 𝗙𝗧, 15 years of experience behind us. The product, which I showed you with a little hiccup, but that's the technology, you know, and life that can happen. The business opportunity that I showed you. So I hope this is just as exciting for you as it is for us. If this is the case, talk to the person that invited you on this call. Let them know what your feelings are. What would you like that 𝗙𝗧 solves for you? Then make a plan. Order your 𝗙𝗧. It will get to you in a matter of days. Order it. Then in between time, make your plan so that if the 𝗙𝗧 arrives, you can immediately start. Don't waste time on it. Next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have a starter training. So we will give you a detailed guidance on how you can start your business in 𝗙𝗧 the best way. So for all the people that are already in 𝗙𝗧, I would recommend be on that call. Invite your team partners. If you're new to 𝗙𝗧 and you start today, then you can be on that call on Sunday as well. The details for those calls are all over in the groups, so you will get it somehow if you want it. So I would only advise you to be on that call. That's a 2-hour training that we will give to you so you can start your business the best way possible. So finally, from the Netherlands in Europe, I would like to say and greet everybody in the United States. Thank you for your time spending with us on the call. We know it's precious because everybody's busy, so taking an hour out of your day means something. Thank you for being on this call. We wish you the best. Make your decision. Talk to the person that invited you to this call, and hopefully see you on Sunday already in the